I was changing my own door locks when the HOA president called 911 on me. Yeah, you heard that right. She called the cops because I was damaging community infrastructure. A few minutes later, I was standing on my own porch explaining to two officers that yes, this was my house, and no, I wasn't breaking into it. That's how it started the day my quiet suburban life turned into a neighborhood battlefield. My name's Justin Jeffers. I work in tech, which means I deal with logic and data all day, so when I get home I expect peace, predictability, and locks that actually work. But my front door had other plans. For weeks the lock jammed every time I came home. I'd jiggle, shove, whisper to the door like an idiot just to get inside. Finally, one Saturday morning I called a locksmith, Mel, this calm, humming guy with a van full of shiny tools. He was halfway through replacing the deadbolt when the storm rolled in. Her name was Karen Foreman, the HOA president. Picture a woman who thinks she's the sheriff, the mayor, and the god of beige fences all rolled into one. She came marching down the street with her phone recording visor, low clipboard in hand, like she was about to shut down a crime scene. "What's going on here?" she demanded. I smiled, maybe too nicely. "Morning, Karen. Just getting a new lock put in. The old one was sticking." "Wrong answer," she gasped, like I'd just spray-painted a skull on her lawn. "You didn't submit Form 7B for architectural modification. All exterior hardware must be pre-approved by the board. I authorize every door in this neighborhood." I blinked. "Authorize my door?" Before I could even laugh, she pointed at the shiny deadbolt like it was contraband. "That's an unapproved locking mechanism." My wife Gina stepped out holding lemonade like this was some weird suburban play. "Karen, what seems to be the trouble?" Karen turned, fingers shaking. "This man is violating community security protocol." I almost choked. "It's a lock, Karen. It's literally the same model as before." Her face twisted. "You are compromising the master key system. One key for compliance." And then she pulled out her phone. "Yes, 911. I'd like to report a break-in. The homeowner is breaking into his own house." Even Mel stopped drilling. I stared at her speechless. But sure enough, two police cars showed up minutes later. The officers looked tired, like they'd seen this movie before. One asked for my ID, looked at the house, the locksmith van, then turned to her. "Ma'am, he's allowed to change his own lock." Karen's face turned crimson. "But the HOA, he's disabling a community asset," the cop sighed. "This is a civil matter, ma'am." Then he looked at me. "Different shift handles, HOA drama. Lucky me." They left. Karen hissed after them. "You've broken the rules." "Jeffers, I'll be issuing a Level 4 violation." Then she marched off, leaving behind a threat that echoed louder than any siren. "Your new lock won't keep you safe." That night her warning made sense. She had live-streamed the whole encounter, editing it into a propaganda piece titled, "Resident Endangers Community with Rogue Hardware." The video showed me looking defiant, Mel's drill playing over ominous music, and her narrating like some suburban hero defending peace. Her little fan club, the Karen Tourage, filled the comments with praise. Gina and I scrolled in disbelief. "She's building a story," Gina said. "You're the villain." The next morning we found a bright yellow HOA evidence tape across our front door. A letter taped on top. Level 4. Violation. $500 fine. Must remediate within 48 hours by rekeying with approved vendor. Remediate. They wanted me to reinstall a broken lock. Gina frowned, pointing to the fine print. "They want to rekey your door using the HOA's vendor. That means giving them access to your house." That's when it hit me. This wasn't just about a lock, it was control. They wanted a key to every home. We spent hours combing through the HOA covenants, page after page of nonsense about lawn height and mailbox color. Buried deep, one vague line. All exterior hardware must remain consistent with the community's established security standards. Gina snorted. "That means whatever she wants it to mean." I looked at her and something inside me hardened. She wants a war fine. Let's play. The annual neighborhood block party was coming up, a perfect chance to gather intel. I was on grill duty flipping burgers, smiling like a man who wasn't plotting civil rebellion. Gina, queen of the neighborhood text chain, worked the crowd like an undercover agent. One by one, neighbors approached. Bill from 3 doors down whispered, "Be careful." She fined me over a basketball hoop once. Made my life hell till I gave up. Then came HOA Karen's right hand. She marched up to the grill like she owned the tongs. "I hope you're planning to fix that violation," she sneered. "I'm trying," I said cheerfully. "Can't find the rogue lock section at Home Depot." She didn't get the joke. By the end of the day, Gina had collected the real stories. Karen had keys. She'd entered people's garages checking for safety. She'd stepped inside houses securing property. Everyone was too scared to fight back. And then an old man shuffled over Mr. Henderson, former HOA treasurer. He whispered, "Check the financial records. Look for Liberty Lock and Safe." That night we did. We filed an official request to see the records, our legal right. Karen stalled, claiming audits, missing files, administrative fees. Gina paid anyway, attaching state law citations like she was filing for war. 2 days later, a manila envelope appeared on our porch. No return address. We spread the papers out on our dining table. Among the chaos, one name appeared again and again. Liberty Lock and Safe. Invoices for tumbler alignment, community security audits, and emergency rekeying, all outrageously expensive. And the company, A Ghost. No website, no office, just a P.O. box. I searched the state database. Registered agent Jules Foreman. Gina. I asked, "What's Karen's husband's last name again?" She looked up. Foreman. Why? Because her brother or cousin owns Liberty Lock and Safe. Her jaw dropped. She's funneling HOA money to her family. $30,000 over 2 years for fake services. And those community master keys. They were real. One invoice even listed 112 master keys cut and distributed. Every home in our neighborhood. I stared at our door, fury boiling under my skin. She has a key to our house. We couldn't just accuse her, we needed proof. That's when my tech brain kicked in. I picked up the old broken lock from the counter and grinned. Let's build a trap. I hollowed out the back, hid a GPS tracker inside, sealed it shut. Then I posted on the neighborhood Facebook group. Garage side doors jammed. Gonna leave it unlocked till Monday. Don't tell Karen. It was bait. We set up hidden cameras, one in the garage, one at the door. Then we waited. 3 nights later, Gina texted me one word: movement. I pulled up the feed, 2 bulky figures at the side door. Hoodies, flashlights. One muttered, "Karen said M7 is the right key." My phone buzzed again. GPS alert. Decoy duck is on the move. They turned the key. The door opened. My garage lights flicked on, catching their faces. I locked the interior door and braced myself. Gina was upstairs whispering to 911. I could hear them inside my garage talking about taking photos, leaving a notice on my counter. Something in me snapped. I wasn't letting them step 1 foot further. I flung the door open. "Evening, gentlemen," I said. "Lose your way." They froze. One lifted a ring of keys the size of a softball. "We're with HOA Security Authorized Inspection." "Funny," I said, stepping closer. "Looks like breaking and entering to me. You might want to stay put. Cops are 2 minutes out." One laughed. "You can't do nothing. We work for Karen." That was it. I lunged not for his face but for the keys. I grabbed his wrist, twisted, yanked them free. He shoved me hard. I hit the floor. But the sirens were already howling outside. 2 cruisers screeched to a stop. Flashing lights filled the garage. Police hands where I can see them. The men froze. They were cuffed within seconds. One officer recognized me. It was Sutton, the same cop from before. "Let me guess." He sighed. "HOA again." I held up the keys. "You'll want to look into these." That's when one of the thugs blurted, "Karen sent us. She paid us to do compliance checks." Sutton's eyes widened, noted. From there, everything moved fast. The cops took statements, photos, and evidence, including my decoy lock, which they pulled right out of the guy's pocket. Sutton sat at our table the next morning, staring at Gina's laptop full of evidence, fake invoices, company records, video clips, even Karen's own words. "I authorize every door in this neighborhood." He nodded. "This isn't civil anymore. It's criminal." But we knew the real battle wasn't just Karen, it was the system that enabled her. We drafted a petition to dissolve the HOA entirely. All we needed were signatures from 25% of the homeowners. We got over 70. People who had been too afraid to speak now couldn't sign fast enough. By the time of the next HOA meeting, the whole neighborhood was buzzing. The clubhouse was packed. Karen stood at the podium smiling like she still ruled the world, babbling about gourd display regulations. I stood up. "Point of order, Madam President." Her smile cracked. "You're not on the agenda." Gina called out, "Bylaw 7C says any homeowner may raise new business." A murmur rippled through the crowd. "Let him speak," someone yelled. Then another. Soon the room was chanting it. I walked to the front, plugged in my laptop, and hit play. The projector lit up with the garage footage, two men breaking in one saying clearly, "Karen sent us." The room gasped. Next came the invoices, the corporate filings, her brother-in-law's name highlighted. Then Arthur, the terrified treasurer, stepped forward with a ledger in hand. His voice trembled as he confessed everything: how Karen blackmailed him over a shed, how she kept logs of residents' comings and goings, how she had keys to every home. "She has been spying on all of us," he said, his voice cracking. "This isn't a homeowners association, it's a surveillance state." The room erupted, shouting disbelief, fury. Karen screamed that it was all lies, but no one was listening anymore. I took the podium one last time. "This board has broken our trust, our privacy, and our homes. I move to dissolve this HOA." Dozens of hands shot up. The vote passed almost unanimously. The crowd was cheering when the clubhouse doors opened and in walked Officer Sutton. He approached the podium calmly, his voice cutting through the noise. "Karen Foreman, you are under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, and filing a false police report." The room went silent as he cuffed her right there in front of the people she'd bullied for years. She didn't scream this time, she just stared at me, eyes hollow as they led her out. That's where it ended, the moment the tyrant fell, and the neighborhood finally exhaled. And if there's one thing I learned from all of it, it's this. You stand up the moment someone tries to cross the one line that can never be crossed, the threshold of your own front door.